Hey guys, so first of all, just want to thank you for coming back to my channel. You can see Ethel has made another appearance in the video. I think in one of the previous videos I've done this week, you also saw a little bit of Floyd. Um, Also, just want to point out if you do hear an alarm going off, it's just a really annoying car on the street where I live. There's something to worry about. It kind of sounds like the intro, or it sounds like I could sing Shout by Lulu. I could imagine singing that along to the sound of this car alarm. It's that annoying. Um, so today's case is going to only be a short one today because I couldn't really find a wonderful lot of information on this case. Mainly because it is a cold case. It hasn't actually been solved. Only one person was arrested for this, for the offence that we are going to discuss. But after the news broke of this person's arrest, the case hasn't been mentioned for another almost 20 years now. Um, so I just want to give a quick shout out to one of my regulars. So in my actual day job, I work in a pub, and one of my regular punters, he actually told me about this case and asked me to cover it, just to give obviously you guys an insight on something that has been forgotten. Like I said, this is a cold case. Um, so we are going to be talking about a case of a girl called Kim Roberts. So Kim, she was born in 1957. She was born in Stepney, and that is a little area in East London. She was born to her parents, Joe and Pat Roberts, and obviously I can't really find a wonderful lot of information about her parents or her upbringing, anything like that. So Kim was actually last seen on Sunday, the 1st of March, 1964, playing on Davenport Street where she lived. So she was around 7 years old when she disappeared. So she was described by witnesses as to have been seen wearing a navy blue gym slip. I'm assuming that's another word for leotard. I don't actually know. A white blouse, blue cardigan, and a brown coat. So, about 3 days later, Kim's body was discovered in Watts Wood in Purfleet. So, Purfleet is a little industrial town in Thurrock. It's actually probably about a 5 or 10 minute drive from where I live now. So, not really that far away at all, kind of a little bit eerie. Um, so it was just, yeah, obviously these places I have heard of because my family originally grew up in the East End of London, and I myself now live in Thurrock. So it's kind of uh, a little bit weird sort of researching this case, but we carry on, I digress. So she was discovered by two boys who were out rambling, and they described her that they were walking by a sandpit and suddenly saw this girl in a brown coat. She was laying on the ditch on her side, huddled up in a bed of ivy. We didn't move her. I called my friend and we run to the nearest phone and dialed 999. Obviously, that is the emergency services in the UK. Obviously, if you're watching from, I don't know, America or whatever, we 911, so on and so forth. But in the UK, it's 999. So when she was found, it was discovered that some items of her clothing had been taken. Upon examination, it was discovered that Kim had been raped and then strangled. So, the police stated that they thought Kim had been picked up in either a car or a lorry, and she was taken to Watts Woods, and obviously she was assaulted, ended up with her being strangled and her body being left for 3 days or however long. Um, so the police were interested in information about a grey saloon car. And this car had been seen parked near a near bomb site. So back in Stepney, there would have been a bomb site. This car was parking there, probably watching Kim as she was playing on the street. I assume playing with friends, neighbours, just drawing obviously my own conclusions. Um, so this was obviously on the Sunday afternoon that she disappeared. So they were also keen to speak to anyone who used the A13 who may have seen a grey saloon near Wattswoods. Uh, Obviously, the A13, a very long stretch of road. It goes, I believe, from Basildon all the way to Thurrock, all the way into Barking and Dagenham. So I know these areas quite well. The investigations in Mile End focused on a triangle bounded by Whitechapel Road and Commercial Road. But it wasn't clear if she had been killed in Mile End and then dumped, or if she had been murdered in Wattswoods. So, a man who had seen the grey saloon car said, "I was walking along the main road at 5:30 a.m. When a car came down the track from the wood. And this has struck me as odd, as because it's so little used, even in summer. I thought it was even more odd when the driver dipped his lamps, put them on full beam again, and darted in Southend Road. I've given the make and model and the colour to the police and part of the registration, and there was only one man in that car." Other people had come forward and said they had seen a man lifting a heavy bag out of the car near to where the body was found, and he was described to have dark hair, wearing a grey belted raincoat and light coloured trousers. So while investigating, police had found stolen property worth thousands, and they actually put an appeal out to the underworld for help. And they say that if any criminal that had dumped stuff there likely has seen something unusual, so they should call the police, anonymous if necessary. So police ended up knocking on about 5,700 doors, obviously during the investigation for Kim. And the Sunday Mirror actually offered a £2,000 reward. No one came forward, and the case actually went cold for 40 years. 40 years later, in 2004, June the 18th, 2004, it was reported that a 76-year-old man, Robert Murphy, he was arrested at his home in Devonshire Road in Langdon, which is part of Basildon. I know Langdon quite well. A really good friend of mine lives in Langdon. I've been down there to visit him a fair few times. So at this time, he had been married to his wife for 9 years. I believe at this time they were living separately, so possibility of them getting a divorce. But like I said, there really isn't a wonderful lot of information about this case that has been put out in the media. His bail got extended until the August of that year, so August 2004, and then the case just seems to have gone cold after this. So, that is everything. That is all the information that I could possibly find on Kim. Doing my research for this case, I visited numerous different sites, and there seems to be some other people that seem to be genuinely interested in this case. They haven't really received any responses. I myself have contacted the Gazette of where the 2004 report came from, just to see any if they could access any archives from that year, if there was any follow up. If someone could comment, just to say, uh, if you were arrested in London, if you know of what courthouse you would actually be called into, because as far as I'm aware, the Basildon Magistrates Court is for family law, like divorces, etc. They don't really deal with murder cases, as I'm led to believe. If I'm wrong, then obviously I can call Basildon Magistrates myself. But other than that, I don't really know. If you do have any other information that you would like to add, if you know anything about the Kim Roberts case, then please leave a comment and I will get back to you. I can possibly update this video at another time. But I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I genuinely do hope that one day there is some justice brought, or there is some sort of closure for the remainder of Kim's family, if any of her family are still out there. Because chances are, I mean, obviously, if Robert himself was 76 in 2004, it would have meant he was in his 30s around the time of Kim disappearing. And so chances are, if it wasn't Robert that actually murdered her and it was someone else, obviously the chances are that the perpetrator has already died and he's died a free man. And quite frankly, obviously, didn't really get the retribution that he deserved or the punishment that he deserved. But that is all I've got for tonight. So sorry that it's a short one, but I thought it was a story worth telling anyway. Again, thank you for my punter who punter. Sorry, I make myself sound like a prostitute, and I'm dressed like one tonight, but I promise you I'm not. No, I'm really grateful to my regular who did suggest this case to me, and I'm sorry that I really couldn't find any information other than what I was able to discuss tonight. But please subscribe, leave me a like, share, comment, and that'll be really greatly appreciated. As always, this is dedicated to Kim Roberts. Thank you.